Are you tired of your internet slowing down right when you need it the most? Maybe your CCTV camera suddenly stopped showing an image, or your video intercom refuses to connect to your smartphone. Don't worry, you're not alone. Every day, thousands of people search for quick, clear solutions to these exact problems. In today's video, we're breaking down the top 5 reasons your network speed might be slow, and exactly how to fix each one. From overloaded devices to outdated hardware, poor router placement, ISP limitations, and even interference from your neighbor's networks, we're going to cover it all in a simple, practical way you can follow at home. If you're ready to boost your network performance, solve annoying connectivity issues, and finally get the speed you're paying for, then stick around, because the solutions start right now. 1. Too many devices connected at the same time. One of the biggest reasons your network slows down is simple overload. When multiple devices are streaming, gaming, downloading, or syncing in the background, they all fight for the same bandwidth, and your speed drops. How to fix it? Try reducing the number of active devices, especially during heavy use moments. If your home has lots of users or smart gadgets, upgrading to a router that can handle more simultaneous connections, like a Wi-Fi 6 router or a mesh Wi-Fi system, can make a huge difference in overall performance. 2. Poor router placement. Your router's location matters more than you think. If it's tucked away behind furniture, stuck in a corner, or buried under clutter, your Wi-Fi signal is probably struggling to reach every room. What to do? Move your router to a central elevated spot in your home, ideally away from walls, metal objects, and interference sources like microwaves or cordless phones. For even better coverage, consider upgrading to a Wi-Fi 6 router or a mesh system that spreads signal evenly across your space. 3. Outdated hardware is holding you back. If your router or devices are more than a few years old, they might not be built for today's internet speeds. Older hardware often lacks support for faster Wi-Fi standards, which means you're not getting the performance you're paying for. How to fix it? Upgrade to a modern router. Ideally one that supports Wi-Fi 6 or even Wi-Fi 7 also. Check that your devices have compatible network adapters. A fast internet plan won't help much if your gear can't keep up. 4. Your internet plan might be too slow. Sometimes the problem isn't your router or your devices. It's your internet plan. If you've got multiple people streaming, gaming, or working from home, your current bandwidth might simply not be enough to keep up. What to do? Take a moment to check what speed you're actually paying for and compare it to what you really need. Run a few speed tests to see if your real-world performance matches what your provider advertises. If it doesn't, or if your plan is too limited for your household, it might be time to upgrade. 5. Network congestion and interference. Even if your setup is perfect, your Wi-Fi can still slow down because of what's happening around you. Nearby networks, like your neighbor's Wi-Fi or other devices using the same frequency, can create interference and clog up the airwaves. How to fix it? Try switching your router to a less crowded channel or move your devices to the 5 GHz band, which usually has far less interference. And for anything important, like gaming, streaming, or work calls, consider using a wired connection for the most stable performance. Now, with both speed and the number of connected devices in mind, we can recommend a few Wi-Fi routers from the REE EW series. And just to be clear, this isn't a sponsored video. We simply enjoy working with REE products because they've proven reliable in real-world setups. But before we go any further, what do we actually mean when we say clients? Clients are all the devices connected to your network. That includes your smartphone, tablet, TV, and printer, but also all your smart home and IoT gadgets. Think washing machines, coffee makers, microwaves, smart lights, power outlets, basically anything in your home that connects to Wi-Fi. Next up, your internet speed from the ISP. Even the best router in the world can't fix a slow internet plan. If your ISP is only giving you limited bandwidth, upgrading to a high-end Wi-Fi 7 router won't magically make your connection faster. Your overall performance is always a mix of 3 things: your internet speed, the quality of your Wi-Fi connection, and the number of devices using it at the same time. All 3 need to work together for you to get the speed you expect. Let's start with routers that can handle up to 1 gigabit per second from your ISP. First up is the REE RGW1300G. This router is designed for homes that need solid performance without going overboard. It supports up to 32 concurrent clients on the 2.4 GHz band and 64 clients on the 5 GHz band. But for the best real-world performance, the recommended numbers are 8 devices on 2.4 GHz and 24 devices on 5 GHz. In other words, this is a great choice for a typical family. Parents, 2 kids, and a handful of IoT devices like smart lights, plugs, or a smart TV. Plenty of capacity without breaking the bank. The next one is a REE RGW3000GX Wi-Fi 6 router. This one is built for larger households with more devices and heavier usage. It supports up to 64 concurrent clients on the 2.4 GHz band and 128 clients on the 5 GHz band. For the best real-world performance, the recommended numbers are 16 devices on 2.4 GHz and 64 devices on 5 GHz. That makes it a great fit for a bigger family. Think parents for kids and around 15 IoT devices, all running smoothly without constant slowdowns. A quick note about mesh compatibility. Even though all REE home routers support REE mesh, here's our recommendation. If you're planning to build a multi-access point Wi-Fi setup in your home, it's best to start using a mesh network from this model and up. That way, you'll get smoother roaming, better coverage, and a far more stable experience as you move around the house. Now, let's move on to the next 2 top-tier models. First up is the REE RGW6000GX, a seriously powerful Wi-Fi 6 router designed for heavy-duty home networks. This beast can support up to 384 concurrent clients, which is way more than most households will ever throw at it. For real-world use, the recommended load is 16 devices on the 2.4 GHz band and 64 devices on the 5 GHz band. Still plenty of room for a busy home. It also comes with a 2.5 gigabits per second WAN port, meaning it can fully handle internet plans up to 2.5 gigabits per second without bottlenecking your speed. And finally, we saved the best for last. This is the top tier of home routers, ultra-fast, future-proof, and built to eliminate bottlenecks. Meet the REE RGW70-200B Pro, a top-of-the-line Wi-Fi 7 router built for the ultimate home network experience. This powerhouse can handle internet speeds up to 2.5 gigabits per second, and it's loaded with connectivity options. For times 2.5 gigabits per second and 4 times 1 gigabit per second LAN ports, plus a USB 3.0 port for extra flexibility. Just like the previous high-end models, it supports up to 384 concurrent clients, far beyond what any home will realistically use. For real-world performance, the recommended load is 16 devices on 2.4 GHz and 64 devices on 5 GHz, giving you more than enough room for a fully connected smart home. If you want the ultimate Wi-Fi 7 setup with zero compromises, this is the one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, drop a like, and do all the usual YouTube magic. I'll see you in the next video.